Welcome to Effective Use of Media and Copyrighted Materials, an introduction for instructors on how to effectively and legally comply with copyright law. This video will look specifically at electronic media use in Blackboard, as copyright law for this type of media can be very ambiguous. Let's start with some basic guidelines. Use legally acquired or purchased copies of materials, always include copyright notices, and remind students that copyrighted works should not be copied and redistributed to others. Generally restrict Blackboard access to enrolled students and block access to materials after the course has ended. When possible, it is preferable to link to electronic material that already is licensed by the library rather than make digital copies available. Finally, only use as much copyrighted content as is necessary for teaching purposes. Being able to use copyrighted materials for teaching falls under the Fair Use Clause of copyright law. The Fair Use Clause allows for the use of copyright-protected materials without acquiring permission when reproduced for educational or research purposes. To make a case for using multimedia in a Blackboard course, check to see how its use weighs against the 4 factors of fair use. The purpose and character of your use must be used non-commercially, the nature of the copyrighted work. Courts tend to favor fair use when the work is nonfiction in nature, amount and sustainability of the portion taken, generally only a small portion of the original work can be used, and effect of the use on the potential market. Use cannot negatively impact the market for or value of the original work. An exemption to copyright is known as the Teach Act, but thanks to its set of requirements, instructors rely primarily on the 4 factors of fair use, which can be applied to any medium as fair use is technology neutral. Now, based on the 4 factors of fair use, analyze if materials that you are considering using in your instruction meet the required criteria. Here we have the first factor, purpose and character of the use. Reasons in favor of fair use fall under the left column, while those that oppose it are identified in the right. The middle describes the tipping factor for using materials. And now the second factor, which describes the nature of the work. The third factor refers to the amount of work that is used. Finally, the fourth factor is the effect that use will have on the market. Using the previous 4 screens as a checklist, perform a fair use analysis of the material you'd like to use. Do the factors favoring fair use outnumber the factors against using the material? If so, you have a stronger case for using the material in your class. However, if less than half of the factors favor fair use, your case is weak and you'll want to get permission before placing the materials on Blackboard. This evaluation isn't clear-cut. In infringement cases, courts determine independently how much weight to put on each factor. If you want to show film or media clips, keep these items in mind. Number 1. There is restricted access to students or other appropriate educational groups. Number 2. The use is important to favored instructional objectives. Number 3. The amount used is appropriate for the favored educational purpose. Number 4. The use has no significant effect on the market or potential market for copyrighted work. Number 5. The user owns a lawfully acquired or purchased copy of the original work. And number 6. The clip is deleted when the class need is completed. When dealing with copyright law, it's best to cover all your bases. Whenever possible, provide a link to the media that you wish to present to your students. Posting a link is much more legally defensible under the fair use doctrine. We recognize that complying with copyright law can be a challenging endeavor. That's why we've provided some helpful websites to assist you in integrating materials to your Blackboard classrooms. Additional questions about Regent's policy on fair use and copyright compliance can be directed to the library information number at 757-352-4150. You also can consult Regent University Library's library guide, faculty services, and instructional support at the URL on the screen. Thanks for watching.